Hey, what's up YouTube? King James here. Season 2 Reloaded brought with it some changes. I just did an update to my AUG and an AUG versus M16 video that you've probably seen, but also change was the FFAR. Now, it's a very popular gun that a lot of people use for their primary or like an SMG, so I wanted to do an update on it because I do like using it too. I use lots of off-meta weapons, but I do use the on-meta weapons too. You know, when things get tough, you go back to what works really well, and the FFAR works really well. So I have a new updated loadout for you right now. So how strong is the FFAR? Well, this is the gray floor loot gun, and it's crazy strong. And I ran around the corner and wasted this guy and picked up the green one because, I don't know, I guess it's a tiny bit better. His buddy comes running around the corner and got him down. I think he had a pistol, so he's not going to win this. But, I mean, when I drop in somewhere like Superstore or, you know, in Rebirth or wherever I'm going, if I find an FFAR, I pick it up. It's probably the best floor loot gun that you can pick up for close to medium range, which is likely why we all use it for our close to medium range weapon in our loadouts. And then there's the loadout gun, which is even stronger. If you're using this thing in your regular loadout and you're already ADS, there's almost nothing that can beat this thing for the time to kill. Now, the sprint to fire time and the ADS time is a little lower than some of the SMGs. So if you're running at somebody with an SMG and you have an FFAR and you're both running and then you stop running and have to ADS and shoot, like an SMG like the Mac 10 will get the jump on you and could have a faster time to kill with all of those factors considered. But if you're pre-ADS'd, man, nothing beats this thing. So I got that guy down. Watch here. I go around the corner and I know that you got to be ADS to really be super fast with this. So that guy was shooting at me and I'm walking around the corner here in a second, right here, and I pre-ADS because I know, right? Come around the corner, boom, there he is. And I take all the sprint to fire and ADS out of it. There's nothing that can beat the FFAR. It's just got a crazy fast time to kill. So then we jumped up on the roof and I got the down. And the rest of this match is sort of interesting. I'll play it at the end of the video so you can see what happens. All right, so let me show you my updated FFAR loadout since the change with Season 2 Reloaded. And I've been carrying it with an SPR, and well, you know what that means. Downed him. I downed the one. I downed the other one. Down the third one. Guys, we should push this. I just downed 3 of them. Come on, let's go. Man, I love that gun. All right, let's get into the build on the FFAR. Just before I do that, though, I want to say thank you to everybody who's recently subbed to the channel. I appreciate all that love and support and the hilarious comments and the build ideas and everything you guys give. So thank you guys so much for that. And if you haven't subbed to the channel, consider subscribing because it really does help small content creators like myself. All right, let me show you my build. So first and foremost, for the muzzle, always use the agency suppressor. Vertical sound suppression, recoil control, bullet velocity, effective damage range. It's basically the best muzzle in the game for pretty well any gun. Now for the barrel, we used to use the reinforced heavy because it's got effective damage range and bullet velocity. But with the change on the Season 2 Reloaded, I've heard some guys talk about using the takedown because it's got more effective damage range, which I don't really think is the FFAR's problem. It's got really good range, and the task force because it's got this strafe speed, but then it's got a negative to vertical and horizontal recoil control. And if you don't know, the FFAR kicks like a mule. This thing has a ton of recoil. So adding more onto it can make it a bit harder to use at longer distances. And I tested all the barrels and let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here's the reinforced heavy. It's the original barrel I was using, and I just went and shot up the wall and had a quick look at it, and then I decided to do a controlled shoot and see how closely I can keep all the bullets together. And this is at 15 meters, which is, you know, pretty close range, but it's got a pretty good line and a good, you know, round bullet. So this is the takedown, and you can see the recoil is sort of the same on it, but then when I shot it, I noticed it had some pretty crazy, you know, like recoil on it, especially horizontal. So I decided to try it again, and well, pretty well the same thing happened. It was pretty hard to control. So then this is the task force, and I shot it up the wall, and predictably the recoil was a lot longer on it. And then I tried to shoot it in a, you know, in a controlled pattern, and it also was, you know, horizontal left and right was pretty crazy. So here's sort of what they all look like. Like that's pretty wild, and well, you know, you can see it's short and well controlled. So considering how unruly this gun is and how much better the bullet recoil pattern and the cluster look when I was shooting it controlled, the reinforced heavy is still the barrel to use. Now for the stock, I was running the QCB pad, but I feel like the Raider stock is a good idea. And I've tried using it a few times and I find the overall increase in general mobility that it gives you, not just sprint to fire, but ADS, aim walking, and sprint to fire really is a nice combination of general movement increases, which is really good when this is your primary gun that you're moving around with. So I'm definitely using the Raider stock. So for the Underbarrel, I think the Field Agent grip is still the good one to use. I know some guys have used the Bruiser grip for the movement speed, but to be honest, the way the FFAR kicks, you really need that horizontal and vertical recoil control to keep it under control. And for the ammunition, well, this is one of the biggest changes that came with Season 2 Reloaded, is they changed the ADS time as you go to bigger mags. Now you get a fast reload with this, but you pay for it with the ADS. And I tested the ADS to see how much you'll have to pay. So for the ADS, here's the side-by-side. I got the 38 round, the Stenag 50, and the Salvo 50 round fast. And if I slowly draw it across here, you can see that, you know, the smaller magazines definitely ADS faster, and the 38 round came in at 233 milliseconds, which is really competitive to an SMG, which are all like high 190s, really low 200s. So this is an AR coming in at 233, that's a pretty quick ADS. And then as I go across, the Stenag 50 is 283 milliseconds now, so a 50 millisecond penalty. And then the Salvo 50 fast is another 50 or 100 total ADS penalty to 333 milliseconds. So you do get about a 0.6 to 1 second reload speed buff here, but with a pretty big ADS negative, which I don't think is worth it. So with this gun, considering it's most of our short to medium range with iron sights, you want the ADS to be as fast as possible. So now that they've fixed these, you definitely want to run the 38. So for me, I'm definitely going to choose a 38 round because I want that fast ADS. And this is how I've been running my FFAR. A couple of quick changes since the Season 2 Reloaded change. It shoots super smooth again. You have just as high of mobility and the ADS time is still fast so long as you make a couple of quick changes. So give this a shot. Let me know any thoughts in the comment section down below. Now let me finish up that round that I was showing you before so I can show you how it ends. So I was up on this roof, I ended up taking this guy right here out, and I didn't go around and get the thirst on him, and he self-revived and killed me. That was pretty foolish of me. I should have went around and got the thirst, but anyway, I did. So I ended up in the Gouge, had to type 63, got a pretty easy Gouge win here, because that's a, you know, easy gun to use. I landed back in, and I picked up one of those guys' loadout that we killed, and he was using a stoner and an M4, which is sort of an odd combo, but anyway, it worked okay. So I picked it up, we jumped off, and right here, these guys got toothy down, so I'm using the stoner here, and I blasted that guy, and then his buddy came out, never even let off the trigger, and just smoked them both. So I ran right around here to my loadout, and I blasted this guy and got him down, and there was one more guy out in the gas, and I started shooting at him. But then I ended up running out of ammo, and not my highest IQ moment, right here in front of my loadout, I could have grabbed my normal loadout and had bullets, but for some reason I didn't do it. So anyway, I pinged him hoping one of my buddies would get him. When he ran around, I decided to try and melee him to death, and well, it almost worked. You know, I got him down. Look at how little health he had left. You know, almost nothing. So should have grabbed my loadout there. Let that be a lesson to you. Grab your loadout. Anyway, came around, we still got the win. So anyway, hope you enjoyed my video, and remember, if you don't see me in Warzone, if you don't see me in multiplayer, it's only a matter of time, baby. King James out.